Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
From the studios in the Netherlands and Camarillo, California, it's time again for the Marketing Geeks.
With your hosts, Justin Womack and Andros Sturgeon. And man, is this episode going to be fantastic. This is going to be the greatest episode that you have ever listened to. I'm excited. Are you excited, Andros?
I am so excited because we have one of the greatest shows of all time lined up for you. Big surprises.
The GOAT, greatest of all time.
That's right. This is the greatest. It's the Marketing Geeks. Oh, yes.
Get your friends, call your family, tell them to come listen right now because the Marketing Geeks are about to go live.
Elon Musk is in my room right now smoking a doobie.
But
That's right.
he's calling you a pedophile.
Yeah, well, you know, it'll be the first time that Elon Musk called me a pedophile.
It's a badge of honor, right?
Well, when Elon Musk calls you anything.
Growing a successful business has never been easy. But whether you're navigating a complex industry or trying to reinvent one, our breadth of banking experts are here to collaborate on market-proven solutions. At KeyBank, we're built to grow with your changing needs because we're not just here for the business you are now. We're here for the business you'll become. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't clone you, but it can streamline your hiring workflow. From posting jobs to shortlisting candidates to interviewing, LinkedIn Hiring Pro is the hiring partner you need, so you can focus on connecting with the right talent. In fact, small businesses report saving over 6 hours per week. So hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
You know. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for the Marketing Geeks. Welcome to the show. We have a great show lined up for you. We are going to single-handedly give you the information that you need to geek out on marketing, movie news, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm currently in the Netherlands and in my home studio. Justin Womack is using the technology across the ocean, real time, to talk to all of you out
Technology
there.
called the internet.
That's right. The internet's invented by Al Gore.
In the mid-90s, yes.
Today, everyone, we are going to talk to you about video marketing. Very, very important stuff. If you are looking at increasing your presence, video marketing is definitely geeky on all sorts of levels. And we are going to go over the different ways that you can use video marketing to leverage your personal marketing. But we are also going to invite you to a very private tutorial webinar on different video marketing platforms. And in that webinar,
Wait, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
Well, it is a webinar that we're going to do in 2 weeks. And when we do that webinar, I'm going to personally give away one of my biggest secrets when it comes to video marketing. It is the secret. Like, honestly, I think I've never run into another video marketer that can do this particular thing. And when I do this one thing, it makes any video show up in a search result as number one within 24 hours.
Wow, it's a pretty bold statement there. I think I'm going to show up then. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, you should be there. You should be there.
I think I'm a presenter, so I should be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that might help if you you could actually participate. But this I will show you my big secret trick. It's provable and it can be replicated. and I'm going to give that away for free to our 7 listeners. So if you
Ooh.
are excited about that, at the end of this podcast, you don't even have to wait to the end. You could just go to the link, and we're going to have the link to
Yeah,
the webinar.
just go to the show notes. In the show notes, we will have the link to register for the webinar. And the webinar, we set a date and time on this thing. So we have a date and time. We promised you a date and time. We have it. October the 1st at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, I think it is right now, or Pacific Standard Time, whatever it is in California here. We're on California time. I'm giving you 1:30 p.m. California time. If you happen to be listening in the Netherlands, what time is that for you, Andros?
It is 10:30.
10:30 in the evening. That's how dedicated this man is. He is going to be
right.
on the webinar at 10:30 p.m. in the evening. It'll be my afternoon. I'll be kind of just stretching. I wake up at noon every day, so I'll have been up for an hour or so.
I will podcast till the sun comes up just for you people. I will do it.
Yeah, but join us. Find the link in the show notes. Register today, and we will see you on October the 1st. Did I say that right? October the 1st, which is a Monday. In 2 weeks, we will see you then. It's going to be awesome.
Beginning of Q4. Isn't it October, November, December? Yeah, it's the beginning of Q4, isn't it? For all you business.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it's the beginning of Q4. Yeah, that's the last 3 months. Yeah. So a quarter of 12 is 3. So the final 3 months would be the fourth quarter. Correct.
Where the hell did this year go? I don't even know.
Yeah, this year is, man, I cannot believe. Yeah, don't even get me started. But let's get into the geek news. Let's get into geek news because we have a lot to cover. Got some Patrick Stewart news that is non-Star Trek related, as we went over last week. Patrick Stewart is coming back as Jean-Luc Picard, which is like the best geek news of this century, I believe. Like, to see Patrick Stewart come back as probably the greatest captain in all of Star Trek, that is badass. But he's going to be leading another ship. He has just been cast as Bosley in the Charlie's Angels reboot. Interesting.
Directed by Elizabeth Banks.
And I believe, was it Bernie Mac that it was Bosley in the last Charlie's Angels movies from the early 2000s? Is that right?
Bernie Mac, and then before that it was Bill Murray, and Bill Murray had a huge falling out with Lucy Liu. Do you know the story about this?
That's right. I forgot about that. So Bill Murray was the first Charlie's Angels movie from the late 90s, early 2000s, and then Bernie Mac was the second one, huh? Okay. I don't know. I don't know the story at all. I had forgotten that they had that Bill Murray was part of it as well.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray. He would not sign up for. He would not be on. In fact, they had to they couldn't shoot with the two of them in the room because they just hated each other so badly.
What's the story?
And, well, I guess at one point there was like a take that wasn't coming together quite right, and Bill Murray was getting more and more upset, and then finally he pointed to Drew Barrymore and he says, "You, I get why you're here." Points to
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz and says, you have an incredible amount of talent. Points to Lucy Liu and says, I have no idea why you're here. And
are we talking latent racism here, or what was going on there?
I think it was personality conflict.
Yeah.
I've heard it through the grapevine that Lucy Liu is not the easiest person to get along with, and that has nothing to do with anything but just someone who doesn't. I mean, she's not cast a lot, but I don't know. I've never met the woman, so I can't say one way or another.
She did work with Quentin Tarantino in Kill Bill. I don't know how that one went either for him or for her. But it sounded like there was all kinds of problems on the set of Kill Bill. But I was hearing more about the Uma Thurman ones. I haven't heard anything about Lucy Liu in that movie.
Yeah, me neither. But Patrick Stewart will be Bosley in the. So what do you think the tone is? First of all, Elizabeth Banks directing. Huh, interesting.
Honestly, I'm not. I'm not excited. I'm not really a Charlie's Angels fan. I think it's it's the right timing. The timing is good because we're in this era of reboots and remakes with gender swaps. Now, this is not a gender swap, but it's taking a franchise that already was a female franchise and rebooting it at the right time. So I think it makes sense. I don't think. Elizabeth Banks.
as far as I know, she directed like the Pitch Perfect movies, and I don't know if she's directed anything else other than that. I mean, she's relatively funny. She'd probably do a fine job. I just have, I mean, I'd watch this if somebody wanted to go see it, but it's not something I'm like excited for or looking for.
I know. It's nobody asked for it. It's one of those movies that nobody asked
I'll
for.
watch it, but yeah, nothing that I'm looking forward to.
Okay, but you know what? Patrick Stewart is Patrick Stewart, so
that's right. Patrick Stewart could totally transform this entire movie.
I would watch that guy eat breakfast. I really would. So, this was an interesting story. So, Henry Cavill, who was playing Superman, is out, and he's not going to be playing Superman anymore. And simultaneously, Joaquin Phoenix, they've just released a photograph of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
So these are. I want to talk about both of these stories, but let's start with the Joker. Let's start with the Joker real quick, because I do want to touch on this. And I love the idea of Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. I think as a casting, I think he's an awesome choice. This movie, however, has me very cautious. I'm a little worried about it because a couple things. This is an origin story for the Joker. And if you've seen the movie The Dark Knight, you'll know. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, let's just. I just want to stop right there, because can we talk about origin stories for a second? Like, we don't need origin stories for every single damn character that we love. I mean, it really does kind of crush the whole nature of the character, especially when they are filled with mystery, like the Joker. Part of the thing with the Joker is that, specifically if you watch The Dark Knight, they didn't know who this guy was. He had no fingerprints. His clothes were handmade. There was no traceable elements to this character at all. The air of mystery is part of that character. You set up an origin story, like where this guy came from, how he came to be, his motivation. It doesn't do anything. Like, we don't need to see that. I don't need to see Han Solo. I don't need to see Boba Fett origin stories. I don't need to see any of this stuff. You had
to learn where Han Solo got that last name from, because it was so clearly obvious that wasn't his birth name. We all knew that it must have been some airport attendant that gave him the name, and now we confirmed it with the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really funny because they're talking about, like, well, what about doing an origin story movie with Obi-Wan Kenobi? Wasn't episodes 1, 2, and 3 the origin stories of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, wasn't that?
We need him back when, like, he was the age of, like, Jake Lloyd. We need we had the 4-year-old Anakin origin story. We need the 4-year-old Obi-Wan. So we need to find a 4-year-old. All right.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They'll probably get a 4-year-old to write the script too. Honestly. So, okay. First of all, so they're doing a Joker origin story, which also means, and this is kind of another story that they haven't, like, no one's really touched on. That also means that the current cast of the MCU, or I'm sorry, the DCEU is probably completely out, because Jared Leto is not going to be playing the Joker, right?
Yeah, so I don't know what is going on with that. That's a mess, because I know they're not getting rid of the Wonder Woman actress, though, because that movie's a hit. So Wonder Woman is safe. All the rumors are pointing to Ben Affleck is out as Batman. That's like 95% confirmed. It sounds like, and so Ben Affleck is out as Batman.
Aquaman is supposed to be good, right?
Okay, that's right. They have Aquaman, so that then Aquaman might be kept in the DCEU as an actor also. So I think they're just replacing most of the core characters.
Yeah, but that also means that they have no real plan on what they're doing. I mean, the nice thing about the MCU, and the thing that's made it so powerful, that stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe, is that they really planned out how they were going to roll these things out, and how they were. I mean, by the time we got to Infinity War, it was really everything was really thought out and put together.
They took it slow. They didn't force a Justice League movie. Or they didn't force a team-up movie before all the origin stories, or not necessarily origin stories, but before the standalone films had been made. So we had an individual film for every character before Avengers came out, but with Justice League, we only had a Superman movie, and then we had a team up Batman versus Superman movie, but that was it. We didn't even have we only had one standalone movie, which was Man of Steel, because the other one was Batman
I liked.
versus Superman.
Admittedly, I actually thought that was a really great movie. But the these other ones are just I actually didn't see them because they just look like stinkers coming a mile away.
So let me say a few things about the new Joker movie that's coming out, because there's a couple reasons that I'm optimistic about it, but then I'm also cautiously optimistic. As far as I know, Martin Scorsese is attached as a producer on this film. That was the original buzz. I don't know if that's changed or not. I think that's still true. And then they have Joaquin Phoenix. They had originally cast Robert De Niro. I think he backed out at the last minute also. But it's an interesting idea, and I like the concept. But it's directed by Todd Phillips, and Todd Phillips is the master helmer of movies like Old School and The Hangover. And so to me, it's like that's kind of a mismatch on tone if you're trying to make a serious like kind of gangster origin story. It seems like they're like whatever they were going with, because I mean you got Scorsese involved. So I don't know. I was pretty kind of sold on the idea, or at least intrigued by the idea, but then Todd Phillips kind of killed it for me.
Yeah, and again, I don't think it's necessary. We do not need a Joker origin story, no matter how you slice it. There's no reason for it. They could take that money and make a decent, like, new idea film. You know what I'm saying? It's like, once again, we've got to go to, like, something that they're making so they know that people will pay to see it no matter what it is. And I'm tired of that.
So let's talk about that other story, though. The Henry Cavill, or Henry Cavill, or however you say his name. He's out as Superman. And there was a rumor floating around that Warner Brothers is considering casting the first black Superman, and the front runner being Michael B. Jordan, who played the villain in the Black Panther movie. I forget what the villain's name was. Was it like Killmonger? I think Killmonger, or Killmonger, or Killmonger. I don't know. But he was the villain in that movie, and he's a good actor. So that's interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of backlash because he's such a cultural character. So I think you're going to see some backlash putting in a black Superman. But I'm intrigued by it. We've seen white Superman our whole lives. I mean, I've seen all this stuff now, so it's like I'm ready to see something new in all these different franchises. I like the idea of new directions, so I'm open to it. What about you?
I just want to see these awful fanboys freak out, and just
it's gonna be interesting.
Have some sort of like meltdown because I mean, I remember when they did the Harry Potter stage play and they cast a black woman to play Hermione, and it's like, for God's sakes, people, like, just do we really need to like worry about any, like, isn't there better things to worry about? People get so hung up on this stuff, but I'm with you, man. Like, you know what? Let's have a black James Bond. Let's have a black Superman. Let's have a green Yellow Lantern, or a yellow Green Lantern. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Me too. I'm over it. Let's just try something new. And if it's good, I mean, if it's if it's a good movie, then people they'll adapt to it. I think that the problem is if you have that kind of backlash and then you go out and make a shitty movie, then it just amplifies the backlash. But if you can really silence the critics, if you can make an awesome movie, so just make an awesome movie.
Yeah, make an awesome movie. Now, I would like to do a mini review on something that I saw over the weekend, which really just impressed the hell out of me. And so I've got a 4-year-old, as you know, he just turned 4. And occasionally we like to binge watch something every now and again. And so there's a new kid show on Netflix called The Hollow. The Hollow. It's a kid show on Netflix.
But my kid is still 3 months. He'll be 4 months.
That's right.
At the end of the week. Right. So he's too young. So tell me about The Hollow.
Yeah, never too early to get them on geek content. The Hollow is a show about 3 teenagers it's a cartoon. And in the opening of the show, they wake up in a room, a cinder block room with nothing in it but the 3 of them and a typewriter, and they don't know their names. They don't know how they got in there. They don't know how to escape. And so they start following clues and figuring things out, and they find themselves kind of in one sort of dilemma after another. They end up going through these portals and these mystic lands, and the writing is actually incredibly good for a kids show. So I was unbelievably impressed because when I was a kid, it was like Scooby-Doo, and those things were like written by someone's butt.
And every now and then we'd get a Scooby-Doo and Batman crossover.
Yeah, and what's funny is as I look back and I think that I became part socialist because of Scooby-Doo, because here you have a group of people who are all kind of living communally in a van, and they have no form of income, and they go. You have the two stoners, you have the gay guy, you have the lesbian chick, and you have the straight girl. And they go and solve crimes, and at the very end, it's always the capitalist who's trying to scare off people so he could build a mall, And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for those meddling kids and that dog. So I think that I would have to say that Scooby-Doo is responsible for making me a socialist.
Wow. We should interview somebody from the original Scooby-Doo show. We should bring them on the show. And tell them
they're all dead.
Tell them that. They probably are, yeah. But
yeah.
Anyway,
the moral to that
let's talk about some marketing news. What's out in the world of marketing right now? Let's talk about some of that.
A couple of interesting things here, marketing-wise. We were talking a couple of weeks ago about the Colin Kaepernick ad campaign that Nike was running.
That's right.
And we talked about how they probably had a bean counter who sat there and did the numbers before they actually ran it to figure out, is this going to be successful or is it going to backfire? And obviously they felt confident enough that the bean counters figures came out well enough that they decided to run the campaign, and the Nike sales numbers just came out, and it looks like there was a jump in Nike sales by 31% in the wake of the Kaepernick ad campaign.
That's interesting.
So,
it's a little short term, in my opinion. It's a little short term to be jumping to conclusions on whether it's a success or not. But that's a strong indicator that it definitely generated a ton of buzz. And I think it was a smart move, and we talked about this on our last episode because I think they knew what they were doing. They knew they were alienating a certain base, but they also knew they were strengthening the relationship with their target market. So I think it was smart. We'll see though, because you never know how bad the backlash can get. So we'll see. I think I think it's going to be a little bit longer before we have definitive results, but that's interesting with the short-term results right there.
Yeah, and but it just goes to show you that there is definitely this shift in kind of how companies do their marketing, where before it was, we talked about this last week, where before people would completely stay away from any kind of controversy, and they wanted to keep everything kind of neutral and not have any sort of controversy whatsoever. And now you want to create some sort of controversy. You want to create some sort of edginess, because it not only creates free publicity, but it also gives you it gives you a way to stand by something. And if you don't stand by something and make a stand for a belief, any kind of belief, then you're sunk. In fact,
I think we're in polarizing times, right? Where this is a very polarizing time where people have very definite opinions one way or the other. So we're in kind of playing it down the middle is not going over as well as it used to. It seems that way anyway. I don't have definitive proof of that, but that's what it seems like. And so taking a stand is kind of okay. So we're gonna agree that the market segment we're going for is in this block of people. So it's okay if we alienate people from this other block. And we understand that the times are polarized right now, and there's no way to win everybody over. So let's win over the people that we're targeting, and that's what's happening.
Exactly.
And then by creating the controversy, though, too, you're creating that viral aspect where the people that love it are sharing it on social media. The people that hate it are sharing their boycott, hashtags. So it's It's creating controversy, and that's free press.
Yeah, and you also get into a thing, and you kind of, just to expand on your point, it's like when somebody does say boycott this whatever, and I see that, and it's something that I feel that they're being stupid about, I'm more likely to buy that product anyway, just because people I disagree with are saying you should boycott this product. Well,
100%. I mean, some of the comments I read on like Twitter and social media were people that were like, "I don't normally buy Nike, but now I'm going to because of this." So yeah,
right.
There were definitely some new customers acquired because of the politicalization of the ad, whatever you want to call it. But because of taking a polarized stand, they brought on new customers. And now we don't know if those customers are going to be there a year from now. But in the short run, they definitely attracted some new people that hadn't thought about Nike as their company.
Exactly. So it just goes to show you that you need to kind of stand by something. In fact, Michael Moore is coming out with a new movie, and he said something really interesting, I felt, which is somebody asked him, do you think that Pence would be worse than Donald Trump? And he says, look, I would actually prefer Pence over Trump, because at least with Pence, he stands by something. He has beliefs. They're beliefs I don't agree with, but I can debate with him about why dinosaurs didn't exist at the same time Jesus did or whatever. Like I can have that debate with him rather than someone who's just throwing out information that may or may not be true. And so it's really, at least if you take a stand, people can debate with you, and if you debate with them publicly, then it may actually end up being free publicity for you anyway. So part of the story of your business is that you need to really take a stand on where you are, what you're standing behind. That's getting more and more kind of the status quo. Don't you agree?
I would agree that yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and So I don't know. How is that? Have you looked at any projections on that Michael Moore movie? Is that thing? That's going to be kind of interesting to me, because I think in the past he's attracted kind of more of a mixed audience, and then now Michael Moore has always been very polarizing to the left. There's no question there. Yeah. But there's been a lot of people that.
He makes movies that preach to the choir. He's not gonna. He's playing to the base. He's not gonna make a movie that's gonna convert anybody at all. So. He's making a movie that's gonna make people nod their heads and go, "Yeah, that's what I think."
I think some people from the right saw movies like Fahrenheit 9/11, which were, even though they were very polarizing to the left, they were still. It was a little bit different, I think. But I don't know. We'll see how this one does. It'll be interesting. This will give you an idea of how big the movie market is on that side, because depending on the performance of this movie, it'll kind of give you a feel for where that potential market sits.
But what I want to know is, do you need to make a stand when it comes to marketing, say, a sex robot? And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. It's time once again for the Sex Robot Report.
We know you've been waiting for it, and it's finally here. Sex robots.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, baby. Time for the Sex Robot Report. All right, here we go. This story, you actually found this one. It's from the Washington Examiner.
You said that like you're surprised. I actually found this one? Okay, thanks, man. Thanks for my research.
Well, out of the two of us, who's doing the sex robot research?
That's true. It's usually you.
Yeah, with the help of Elon Musk smoking a doobie in the corner. Calls mount for regulation of sex robots. This is from the Washington Examiner. A short drive north of Toronto, $60 buys a half-hour loan with a life-size doll. That's, quote, warm and ready to play. Because the question is like $60 for a previously used sex robot. I don't know, man. Like, I got $60 in my pocket. Like, is that something I want to spend money on? I can't answer
I don't
that.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say right now.
You nothing, because I know what you like. Just the thought of that is a little bit off-putting. Customers take rented sex robots to a private room in a warehouse. A warehouse, like on a dirty mattress. That's weird. Near an emissions testing center, before returning them for cleaning. Boy, this sounds like you'd have to pay me $60 to do this. The owner of Kinky Doll S told Washington Examiner he will open a second location in Houston this month with the goal of 10 U.S. locations by 2020. How? Because there's no regulation. The state is a bigger market and a healthier market. And God bless Trump, says owner Yuval. Like, Trump? Why? God bless Trump for sex robots? I don't understand this guy, but whatever. Although widespread in Europe, there is no known robot brothels in the U.S. yet. Gervels rejects the label, saying that he runs a, quote, showroom that allows people to rent dolls, test them on premises, and decide whether to buy one. Before opening the shop in Canada last year, he said, quote, I consulted with a lawyer, and the lawyer said, listen, there are no rules to it, but if you're smart, don't go out and say you're opening a brothel, he said. So basically now people are looking at regulating these particular sort of...
And what are they looking to regulate specifically?
I don't know. You know what, man? It's like somebody out there is like... Some politician decides that it's going to be better to take his time up with this type of thing because, I don't know, why? I mean, who's it hurting? Like, you know, I have no idea. I don't have an answer to that.
I have the article up here too. And here's something that they talk about for regulation. There's a push for regulation in an effort to ban sex robots that resemble children. Now that I can agree with. That's a little bit creepy, even having said that out loud.
Yeah, that is really creepy. You know, now this gets into a weird territory, right? Because if you think about it, so let's say you have an AI robot, right? And you have some guy who has this really particular sort of thing that's disgusting, you know, and he's able to get a sex robot delivered to him that maybe does resemble a child, and that means that he's going to do icky things to this child sex robot rather than go out and do something find like a real child. So does that curb that behavior, or is that something that we just want to stay away from as a society altogether? I mean, obviously, I would say yes, we want to stay away from that altogether as a society. But the thing is that these particular things are going to be available to people. There's going to definitely be a black market for these types of sex robots.
It's kind of an uncomfortable conversation, but
we need to have it. I mean,
it's a reality, though. Yeah, I mean that these will be available. I mean,
it's creepy. It's
my
creepy.
initial thought is that I'm kind of against the idea of even allowing that. I don't because I can't imagine that I can't imagine that if somebody had a doll like that, it would anyway curb that behavior. So I don't know. So I don't know enough about it. I'm not a psychologist.
Now, if you had a sex robot that looked like Elon Musk, now that is something I would definitely purchase. Oh yeah. And that concludes the Sex Robot Report.
And that was a weird one. That was a weird one.
That was a weird one, man. You got to stop me before I even go there. I don't know what I was thinking. But, leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you think, because it is a conversation we need to have. But next week, we will bring you another rendition of the Sex Robot Report. Oh, yeah. All right.
So one last story before we get in the meat of the show.
Yes.
This is one that I gave you right before we started recording, but CocaCola is looking to get into the cannabis markets, and they are reportedly in serious talks of launching new beverages with a company called Aurora Cannabis that would be infused with, how do you pronounce it? Cannabidiol. which is the active or not the active ingredient, but it's CBD. So basically, it's a CBD inside of Coca-Cola. So the drinks would not provide a buzz, but they provide medical benefits that you get from CBD oils, like for muscle cramping or anxiety or things like that. So this could be.
Is it like smart water where you're getting like vitamin water where you're getting your quote vitamins from the drink and they have I mean, first of all, like CBD oil tastes terrible. Like I wouldn't want to drink that stuff just for fun. I mean, I think it's a marketing gimmick, for sure. But it's Coca-Cola getting into that business. It does show that there is a mainstreaming of this market, and as people become more comfortable with the idea of cannabis as a regular thing in society, the stigma around it is disappearing rather quickly. I mean, I live in a country obviously where cannabis is legal for everybody, and what's interesting is that nobody really smokes it. Everybody drinks beer like crazy around here, but as far that you don't really see that many people that smoking weed, and so it's just kind of an interesting thing that as it becomes more sort of integrated in our society, and the stigma around it disappears, I don't know if the abuse of it will disappear as well.
It's interesting that we won't know for a little while until we have some long-term data. But here's a stat that's interesting, and this is about the CBD market. And again, the CBD is these products are non-psychoactive, so these don't have the THC that is psychoactive in marijuana. But the CBD market was estimated to be 202 million in the year 2015. And the projections right now are that the CBD market will cross $2.1 billion by 2020. So that's interesting numbers there. So that's a roughly 10x. That would be roughly 10x growth in a period of 5 years. So that's.
I'm in the wrong business, my friend.
Yep.
I am in the wrong.
We are changing the name of the show to CBD Geeks.
Marijuana Geeks.
Marijuana Geeks. Coming, or maybe it'll be a spin-off show. I don't know.
Stop me now. So yeah, but it's also kind of interesting because you can't market that stuff on Facebook and you can't market it on other social media platforms.
Not currently.
Yeah. But that may be just,
and that might loosen up here. The more mainstream it gets, with a company like Coca-Cola backing it, it's going to make it more mainstream. So every step like this moves closer to where they're going to take away those regulations on advertising. We'll see what happens though.
So moving on, I wanted to get to the meat of our show, which is all about video marketing and why create video. Like, what's the point on doing video? Video obviously is one of the top. In fact, if you look at the data that goes over the internet, video is like one of the number one things that people are doing online. And I'm not talking about the websites where you can watch people having sex with Elon Musk robots. I'm talking about just sheer, YouTube videos and video online. And if you think about it from your own perspective, when you want to buy a product, a lot of times you'll go to YouTube and see like unboxing reviews. In fact, my son, again, he's going to turn 4 tomorrow, but he loves watching unboxing toy videos. He loves it. It's like one of his favorite things. So, video can be very powerful for your brand, but it seems like it might be kind of hard to create video. But I'm telling you here, folks, that there are easy ways to create videos. And when we do our webinar in 2 weeks, we're going to show you what some of those ways are, how to create those videos very, very easily, and how you can get them SEO'd to show up number one within search results pretty easily.
But not only that, but I believe it was secret number 3. Was it secret number 3 that's going to absolutely shock our listeners? Is that the one?
That's secret number 3. You will not believe it. It's happening in your area too. Like,
the video.
Just absolutely unbelievable. But you can only get it by being on the webinar. So,
so sign up now. Go to the information down below, and please join us because it's going to be outrageous. But the awesome thing about video marketing in general is that it can honestly, a 2-minute video can showcase your product in a way that someone would have to sit and read 10 pages of text. So if you show like a video of your product or service in a really short, snappable way, then people, will watch it if the content is kind of fun and interesting. And you see a lot of people using video for not only sales, but like once you create a video, you could use it in your email marketing. You could use it through your social media channels. You could remix it and send it out again. And, a lot of platforms that started off not with any video they're all adopting video. In fact, you were just mentioning something that Twitter's introducing, right?
Yeah. Twitter, I don't know the date on when they introduced this, but it's the last month or two here. They've introduced live video on Twitter. So they've gone with live video now. It used to be that Twitter owns the company Periscope, so they've always had a live component, but it's been through Periscope. But now if you actually log into your Twitter account, you can do a Twitter live, and it'll post live video right to your feed. And they're heavily marketing this right now. So if you want cheap organic marketing, like now is the time to do organic live Twitter videos because they're never going to be pushed as hard as they are right now. And this will be a very short period of time before it gets saturated like everything else has in the past. Just like Facebook Lives were when they were first introduced, were huge opportunity to get lots of eyeballs. LinkedIn introduced video back in October or November of last year, and that blew up pretty quickly on LinkedIn. And that was not live video, that was pre-recorded, but they never had video up until recently. And now Twitter is putting out Twitter Live. So if you want organic marketing and you want to reach a decent audience, then yeah, Twitter Live's probably the hottest thing right now because of how new it is, and it hasn't been adopted by the mainstream yet. But that's coming very quickly, so act now.
Yeah, and there's different ways that you could leverage video, even live video. So here's a perfect example. We had a client, Justin and I, last year, where she was a woman who was a retailer, or no, a realtor. She sold homes. And we told her you should get into Facebook Live and start Facebooking living some of the real estate properties that you had. And so she said she would do it. And the couple of days later, she called us and she says, I just sold a house. And the reason why is because I did a Facebook Live on a house that I was selling, and I showed it, the house, and I did a walkthrough. And directly after that, I got a call from somebody who I was connected with, and they said, that house looks really great. And she signed the closing agreement just like a day later. Like they went into escrow really fast. So she actually used it to leverage the house she was selling using video. And that's just one aspect of it. If you are maybe have a small company, or you have a product or a service, you can create video to showcase what you do or who you are, tell your story. And there's different ways that you can go about this. And I have there's a few platforms. And if you go to the webinar, I'm going to show you a couple of platforms that I love using. Magisto is a really great way to make professional looking videos fairly quickly. I have a platform that I use called Adobe Spark, which is from Adobe. That's free for people. It's really great. I have another platform that I use that I'm going to tell you about when you come into the webinar. But we'll show you step by step how to use these platforms, how to create video, and then I'm going to show you my secret shocking tip that's going to allow you to make your video #1 in search results in 24 hours.
And how many people? Only like 5 people on the planet even know that tip right now, right? Was that?
I actually have never met anyone else who knows how to do this. I've gone up to like full-on marketers who've done this for years, and I said, "Have you tried this?" And no one has ever heard of this one thing. And I've done it several times, and every single time I do it, the video goes up to #1 in that particular search term within 24 hours. It's pretty awesome. So I want to give away.
And the only place to get that again
is our webinar.
Monday, October 1st.
Yes.
1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Daylight Time, whatever time we're in right now. And be there at the webinar to get that elite, we'll call it elite secret from Andros.
And I'm going to give it away. It's like nothing to buy. I'm not going to upsell you with anything. I just want to give this to you. Now, one thing about this, very important, is that if you can't make it for whatever reason, that's okay, because the replay, even if you sign up, the replay will be available to you for, what is it, 1 week? Is it 1 week?
Yeah, I think we'll make it available for a week. We can do that.
Okay. Just for our listeners. And this is just something that we want to do because we appreciate our listeners. We appreciate the feedback that we've been getting, and we want to share our information with you. Now,
let me. I wanted to give a couple nuggets for today's episode.
Yes.
So a couple more nuggets you can take home for today about live video.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this a few times, how live video can be used in the same way that we're using our podcast. It could be used to create a show and to help develop your brand and your personal brand, especially. And you could do something like you could create an interview show. One of the ways of doing that effectively is to leverage tools that are specifically designed for live video. And one of the tools that Andros, actually, I'm going to give you two tools that Andros and myself have both used for live video are, number one is something called BeLive.tv. So you can go to the website BeLive.tv. And what it is it's basically a plugin for your Facebook Live videos that will let you put like title screens on the bottom of the page. So you can put your name, something like that. And you can also do the split screens if you're doing an interview with somebody else. You can interview them through Facebook Live. You can have on the bottom of the screen, you can have both of your names appear, and you can do some mild kind of effects to make it more like a television style interview. So it's a pretty cool platform, BeLive.tv. One of the other ones that we discovered that's actually even better because it's free, or at least it was free when we were using it. I haven't used it in a few months here, but it's called Go Lightroom. And excuse the typing noise there. But it's called Go Lightroom, and let me see if I can find the URL.
We're live, folks.
We're live. This is how we roll. So anyway, BeLive.tv. That was the
one. Anyway, we'll go over these and many others. But the thing is that what we want to do next week is we want to show you how to create some professional-looking video, how to leverage that video, the types of things that you can do with that video, and then how you can keyword that video. So if somebody searches for your particular keyword, it pops up to the number one spot on Google search results. And, that's a coveted spot, getting up to number one. So, video marketing is, if you just stop and think about how much video you watch on a regular basis, part of your buying decisions, when you buy something, do you watch a video of it? When you want to find out about somebody, do you find video about them? Video is really like, you really need to leverage it as a small business owner. And there's lots of ways that you can do that, but it can get kind of complicated. But we're going to show you ways to create professional looking videos on the fly without any kind of issue whatsoever. So we're excited about that. Next week. Did you find? Are you still looking?
I'm still looking. Looking.
Give it up. Save it for the webinar.
All right, we'll give it to you at the webinar. So unfortunately, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a free one. There's also the OBS, which is open source broadcasting software that you can use. Which it's a little bit more technical. So if you're not a technical person, use BeLive.tv. But OBS broadcasting software is another way of basically getting the same features for free. It just, you have to know a little bit more of what you're doing to use it than with something like BeLive TV, which has like more of the wizard environment where it'll guide you with a step-by-step process. Mm-hmm. So sorry about that for not being able to find it. But again, attend the webinar because that's just one more bonus. As long as the tool still exists, I will have it for you at the webinar on Monday, October 1st. So we will see you there.
Yeah, plus we're going to have all sorts of other surprises and giveaways. Are we going to give away something? Yeah, we'll give away something. I don't know what,
let's do it.
I'm just announcing that. I don't even know what we're going to give away, but I will. I have on my desk,
I have something that I'm going to give away. I don't know if I'll give it away to any of our 7 listeners. I may just give it away to like someone down the street or like a homeless person. But I'm going to give away something. So
somebody's getting something though. That's all they need to know.
Somebody is going to get something. So do you have any sort of questions for us? Do you want to connect with us on any level? We are available on LinkedIn. We answer every single person that connects with us on LinkedIn. We want to answer your questions. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some special guests, some new surprises, of course, our webinar. We want to help you with your marketing. And I've got a big announcement next week that I'm going to announce. I am.
Ooh, a big announcement that you're going to announce. That's even more spectacular.
How's that for a lead-in? And it's 11:14 at night, and I've got Elon Musk in the corner smoking a doobie. So I don't know.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. All right. So live video
from the Netherlands,
from Camarillo, California.
It's the Marketing Geeks once again, closing out a fantastic show for you all.
I am marketing. You are marketing. We are marketing.
Do you got any marketing tips for us? We would love to hear kind of what do you guys use for marketing out there, our 7 listeners? Please let us know.
Send us some topics. Send us some topics. Send us your questions. Let us help you. Help us help you.
And if you really like the show, folks, please sign up as a regular contributor. That way we can buy ourselves lunch and possibly some marijuana-infused CocaCola.
Right, it's not marijuana infused, it's CBD oil infused.
Yeah, speak for yourself, buddy. I'm in the Netherlands.